because they know that people know that for them they are straightforward, they'll be like, I have to just say what I want to say because I'm straightforward.
So today we're talking about stereotypes when it comes to tribes. What are those things we do or say that we automatically think the person is doing it because they belong to a certain tribe? Okay, Uganda has more than 50 tribes, so yeah, we get where it comes from. But what are those things that society does that may not, sometimes are not actually true? Usually stereotypes are have a little bit of truth beneath them, but then at some other times it's actually not true. So that is what we're talking about today.
Oh my gosh. Hi everyone. This is Butterscotch YouTube channel. My name is Tracy.
Angela.
So this morning I asked one of my friends, so you really think Banyankole shouts? Okay, they are loud. Shouting is like, whoa! But we are loud when we talk. So
like in a taxi.
So I was like, yeah, so I told him in my family, I'm the only one with that shit. Like in my nuclear family, like my parents and my siblings, I think I'm the only one with that. Like the others are very, very calm. They're not loud. When I was younger, my mom, when I go home now, they always say, "Hot Tracy, like they will hear me and me when I'm talking, I don't even hear myself. But apparently it's true, and I think it is because when I hear like my other relatives speak, Banange they rap and they rap for one, and then they are loud. So I get where I get it from. So I think that stereotype is true, but I don't think it's like everyone is.
Actually, there's a time we were leaving a club, not a club, we were leaving a bar
when we were together.
Yeah. Band, we were from watching live band.
Yes, just live band because we are vocalists.
It came out so wrong. Okay, we were leaving a live band.
Not that there's anything wrong with actually leaving a bar, right?
So when we were leaving, I don't know, some guy did something to us. I don't exactly remember what he did, but it was so rude and abrupt. And when we were
oh my gosh, I remember.
So I shouted, I'm like, I don't know what exactly, but I think it was like, but while I was speaking, something clicked while I was still talking. So I'm like, you're with Amnyanko. So I'm like, oh my god, sorry. So so it is awkward and weird, and then sometimes.
But it's true. We are loud.
No, because the guy was mean, and like the song was mean and loud. But when you find it out, it could have been anyone else, and they were. And for me, I said Abanyankole Babachi because of the accent. So I don't even know that guy. I don't know if he's Abanyankole or not. Me, I just had the accent. I'm like Abanyankole Babachi.
So stereotypes. I think sometimes there's a little bit of truth in them. Yeah, but personally I wouldn't take it for like the final verdict.
Yeah.
For example, they usually say Baganda are not trustworthy people.
Yeah.
And I have friends who are Baganda and are really trustworthy, and then and stuck through a lot of things with them, and they're not any of that, but I could say maybe they are. I mean, there's some truth to that sort of stereotype. Like I've seen other people, like other occurrences where they have exhibited such
the traits.
Yeah, those traits
that people relate to their tribe. I have a friend who went to work in some place. I think they have a Toro. She's a lab technician, and she was like, oh my god, Angela, these things are true. Apparently when she was supposed to compare the Kampala team to the team that side. Someone like, no, she was telling me something you do like within 5 minutes, like you take the or whatever those apparatuses they use, like you take it, you bring it back. but apparently that side people were like, it's like there was slow motion, like all of them. It's like, did you watch that movie, that animation that had a sloth at the tail eye? Well, there was a Caribbean, there was a policewoman and like a fox, and they had to be friends.
Yes.
Zootopia.
Yes, Zootopia. I watched it.
So she was like, that's how they were like.
Very slow.
Like, yeah.
Even Uganda, now Uganda is a country and its people. Kenyans, when they come here, they just say things are slower here. You get it? Like people are slower here. They're not like fast, like in their country. So they say like in Kenya, like everything is like on the go. You get on a matatu and it's moving, like it doesn't stop.
Like
it just keeps going, and then you just.
For us here, you even be like, Bananga, if you don't stop that taxi, I'm not going to move out. Yo.
I stand to be corrected. They say that the Jalu are extravagant people, and they're extravagant. Like if they see that car, they're like, I want that car. They'll make sure they get it, and not because they need it, but they like status, like status symbols. You know, I'll get that car because it looks good. It makes me look good, so I'm going to get it. So they'll get the car not because they need it, but simple status.
Yeah. I get it.
There's some truth in there. I mean, they are exceptions. Like there's my family that is very, very calm, and I'm very loud.
So you can't say that.
Yeah.
To them it won't work, but they are loud.
Yeah, you get it. Huh? But I have seen that, and then they say Basoga are slow. The other day we were having a conversation, and there was a Musoga among us, and was like, oh my gosh, like even me, I'm Soga, I can see it. That like in class we are so smart, and by the way, this is not an attack on anyone, we're just having discussions.
Just a conversation.
So she's Soga, she was like, for me, I've grown up from there, I am Soga, and I know in class we are so good, like academically, Masoga people are bright, apparently. But then when it comes to just that, like everything, they are slower, generally slower. So she was saying that for her kids are also Basoga. She actually said, if I'd known, I wouldn't have, like if I'd been so like more observant then, I wouldn't have gotten married to a Basoga.
Yeah.
Because even the kids are like that.
Yeah.
But remember, we say disclaimer. This is not an attack on anyone, it's just a conversation like you'd have anywhere. So she says she'd like to enroll maybe the kids in like not the Ugandan setting of education, like schools that stimulate that child to learn a particular way, so that her kids don't turn out like
a stereotype.
Yeah, that's so-called stereotypes. But according to her, she says it's very true.
To her,
yes.
And when you say stereotype again, for me, okay, they usually say Baganda are, what do they call them? You know, when Baganda was saying, it's Tony Gira Mutoke, but I feel like Baganda, also Bani Gira Mutoke, they are not as, in my opinion, they are usually not assertive, and they won't tell you what they think at that particular time.
They are not straightforward like Bachuga.
Yeah.
Ask the Bachuga.
When it comes to my personal life, I have a saying, my Muganda side is coming out. Then just now if I say my Muganda side is coming out, I am not telling you the truth. I don't believe in what you're saying at all, but I'm nodding to it. So if you're having a conversation, I tell you my Muganda side is coming out, just know I'm not agreeing with what you're saying, but I'm pretending. Yeah, I either don't want to hurt your feelings, I don't want to seem so aggressive or stuff like that. By the way, if you don't belong to a particular tribe that stereotype is being told to, you may not feel it, but there are things we do that hurt people, and for us we think it's just but people have been making that. I remember I was working somewhere and people almost had a fight in office. There is this girl, she was a Muganda, she kept saying, every time she kept saying Basoga are slow, and the receptionist was Amsoga, but I think she used it as a joke.
But
and
she
this
didn't, it affects
and
her.
One day this girl came and preached to her, like she had been keeping all the negative things this girl had been doing, and she was like, okay, since I am the Musoga and you're the Muganda, the bright one, how come on such and such a day you did this, you said this? like, who is dumb here? Like, she was really fed up. She was like, I don't want to hear any more of this. She was really hurt. And now for me growing up in a, like, the Baganda side, like, I saw people growing up, Baganda, when someone is moving, someone is passing, and then they'll be like, akakadin kakaiseo. And they usually say it in the presence of that person.
Yeah.
Like literally to say, what is that Dinka person doing in this region? And usually I think people do that because they've grown up here, they are not exposed, so you have not traveled anywhere, you've not gone to the west or east or north, so your mind is so close-minded. And so you say things that are going to hurt people, and you say, oh, that's so slow. And now,
like, I just proceed and then I'll bring in the Mukiga.
Because, like, for me now, I think what helps is having friends or acquaintances who come from different, you don't have to be friends with people you don't like, but at least try to have acquaintances from various cultures or upbringings. And if you're not a fan of meeting people like me, read about them, like, oh, we have Acholis, oh, we have Lukbaras, we have Bachiga. Go and read about them. There is the internet, there is what, so that your eyes will be like, you'll be like, I don't know, you'll have a more open mind. You won't say things that hurt people. Now, for me, having her as a friend helped me, because I would have said that and I wouldn't even actually have thought about it. But because at that particular time, and this was when I said it, it clicked. I'm like, okay, nah, this is not true. This is not like a right way of saying things.
When it comes to being more intentional about what you say, people now, us Banyakole Bachiga are very straightforward people. Like, there's this saying that they usually, it's not like a saying, but it's something people usually relate to. People talk about it when they are referring to how straightforward Bachiga are. Because of that, they'll see something and they'll just say without filtering, without doing anything. So I've had colleagues, plenty of them, Bachiga community, and they were just like zero filters, like they just see something and then they just like, you look ugly, what are you wearing? You get it? Like, because it's just, for them, they just speak.
So for them, they relate the mouth to the eyes.
They just speak.
Like, you see that thing, you follow.
You just say. And it ends up affecting like other people. And also, because they know that people know that for them they are straightforward, they'll be like, I have to just say what I want to say because I'm straightforward. They say semana teberu manimi, something like that. Tebeli antama.
I don't know if that's the meaning.
Like they don't
mince words.
Exactly, they just say them as they are. I think it affects people. And the fact that they know that people know, that's what they're
so they take it as,
they just say, that's why
that's
why by the they're called arrogant, because they just say things and don't filter anything. They just don't mind. Exactly. So some stereotypes are actually true. What we need to,
there is a little bit of truth in them, and sometimes it's not actually the issue. So you think about it, especially when it comes to tribes, like
and not let it like be about you. Like, don't let it be about you. If you are like cool and you don't any of that stuff they're saying, just keep rolling. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. Let us know what weird tribal thing you've heard about your tribe, other people's tribes. That's just a stereotype and it's taken on by different people. Let us know. Thank you for watching. Bye. Tell me what day.
Yeah, we are done, man. Unless you have energy for another one.